Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, the world's greatest redneck, and today I got my cable fixing problem solved there. One of my viewers said he needed a part made and he'd be glad to put my cable together, said he had years of experience doing that. And so I sent him the fittings and he sent me a drawing. So what we're going to do in today's videos, we're going to machine him that little part and see how it comes out. I was on the way home this morning and I pulled behind a garbage truck and he started dumping garbage on the road. And if you remember cassette tapes, they had the little magnetic tape in it. About 100 yards of that stuff must have fell out of the back there, flew across the front of my truck, got hung on the passenger side mirror. And it was 15 miles from there to the post office, so I figured, well, if there's anything there, I'll clean it off at the post office. And it almost was self-cleaning. When I got to the post office, there was only about 10 or 15 feet still hanging on the mirror. Imagine people thought I was kind of strange driving around with a streamer flying down the side of my truck. I hope the guy, I saw him pull over, so I guess he went back and secured his load, but he sure left a pile of garbage in the street. Alright, so anyway, we're going to do this part, and I already did it. I'm doing the intro after having done it. And I've sent it to Mr. Chuck. This, it's not Chuck Bomarito, it's another Chuck. There's a lot of Chucks around a machine shop. So, yeah, I said that. I don't know. I couldn't help it. But anyway, I already sent the part to him today, mailed it. And it's not perfect, so what I'm hoping for is that he can tell me if the threads are too tight or too loose. Because I don't have any way to know what the right threads are. It was 24 threads per inch at a .409 diameter. And I'm sure somewhere in Machinery's handbook you'll find a formula that says if you take the distance to Cassiopeia and divide that by the cost of your lunch and multiply it by the number of threads per inch, that you'll get the right thread depth. But I was too lazy to look that up, I guess. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get on with the video before I bore you to death. Inasmuch as the population is increasing, Santa Claus figured he ought to come see me a little early. And so there's my Christmas present. They had a sale. We were over at Harbor Freight for a little bit of stuff, and they had a little bit of a sale going on. And it's really nice, except for just one. When it's from Harbor Freight, there's got to be some little something somewhere. I'll show you. You see that seam there? Right there? Well, that burn light don't work when I want it to. Anyway, they haven't finished folding the thing up all the way around. Three sides of it have got that little seam open. So I'll take a tool and I'll squeeze it shut all the way around. Other than that, everything's great. This is the project at hand. It needs to be bored and turned down a particular size and threaded 24 threads per inch. So that's what we're going to do. I got a piece of metal picked out that's already gone through the bandsaw. So this project, like most all of them, started on a saw, and I've got the piece cut off and we're ready to stick it in the lathe and start turning it down. I'm going to turn the outside diameter mostly down, and then I'm going to bore the hole in it, and then I'll put it between centers to finish it up, because I'm pretty sure that it's not going to bore straight through. There will be a little bit of a off-center wobble or something. So I think I'd be better off like that. Make the hole first and then true it up afterwards on the outside. Then thread it last of all. Here's the metal we're going to use to make it. It was a shaft out of some kind of a machine. I don't know, I've had it for 40 years, I guess. I cut this off of the end of the shaft, and you can see that it had a rough life right there, right towards the end. And Somebody started cutting the key away, it looks like, and I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like that, but then again, I don't have a lot of experience to do it. Alright, we'll chuck her up and we'll clean off the outside down to see if I can get all this stuff off and still have enough metal left, and then we'll bore it out. I'm going to have to get busy and make some more eye-in-the-sky camera mounts. I used to have a little grizzly sitting there and a magnetic mount that I would stick on the back of the motor, and I could get a different view of things, but the little grizzly is gone, so there you are. Alright, so let's see what we can do about cleaning this thing up. As you can see, this is going to take forever to do, so I'll let you sleep while I make all these cuts back and forth, and I'll bring you back to see if it cleans up. Okay, that's .557 end to end there. The biggest diameter of the finished piece is going to be .510. So I may have got carried away and gone too close there. I hope not, but nevertheless, now I've got to cut this chunk off the end down here, and we'll set up and bore the hole in it, and then we'll work from there. Alright, I cut off the extra. We'll true up this end, and then we'll start boring the hole. We'll drill as much as we can, of course. Alright, so I turned the outside to close to 510,000, I think about 560, and I've drilled the hole. I've got one more drill to go here. It's a 238,000 size, and then I'll ream it. So that's our plan for today, and I'm pretty sure the hole's not going to go straight through there, and I should probably have left more on the outside. What I intend to do to straighten all that up is to put it between centers and turn it and thread it and all that between centers. So let's get started. Let's put the 238,000 hole in there, and then we'll ream it. I guess I can put a little oil on it. Sure that went all the way through. Notice I said reasonably. I'm not totally sure. So, time for the reamer. Okay, so my reamer has a tapered shank, and I don't have a sleeve to make it fit this tailstock. They're not the same taper. So, what I'm going to try to do is to hold it in between a center with a center in the back end of it and ease it into here. Now I've got to turn the drive down a lot. It's going way too fast for reaming. Alright, so nobody knows how this is likely to turn out. Could be anybody's guess. So we're going to turn it on and just see what happens. That's all I know. At this point, that's where we're at. See if I can get out of the way of the camera. We seem to be starting off all right. Now I figure this hole's crooked, and I kind of had hopes that this reamer would straighten it out. I've noticed here lately when I've drilled holes that they tend to wander off to one side. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. And obviously I'm doing something wrong. Get the shavings out of that. And we go. Probably full of shavings now. Yep. Shot here. Don't have much room left. Less than 1/4 of an inch, I'm sure. I think it went through. If it did, that's really lucky. They say you can straighten a hole a little bit with a reamer. We'll see if what they say is good or not. Hang on. Well, there's the back of the hole. There's the front of the hole. So the back is got a burr on it, so I can't tell for sure, but it may be better than I think. Let me clean things up and get out the calipers and see what the wall thickness is. The hole seems to be pretty straight, so at this point I'll have to take the chuck off. Well, no, I'll just put my live center in there and see if I can't use it with the chuck. The hole is you know, a little eccentric to the outside because I use this chuck here to hold it, and the chuck's got a little bit of run out, but other than that I think we're going to be all right. Let me get set up. Okay, I marked the small step here, and it's going to go down below 0.409. In fact, I think it should go about 60 thousandths below that to clear the bottom of the threads for sure. So I'm going to ease this side down a little bit. A bit of a coarse feed there, but that'll be alright for now. Let's see how big it is. .529, so I've got, you know, close to 100 thousandths to go yet. So I got plenty of room and plenty of time. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to see if I can take the whole thing down to close to 510. Just assure myself that everything's going to clean up, if you know what I mean. Well, I'll change out tools. Alright, so there'll be quite a bit of back and forth here while I cut this down to the right size. So I'm going to let you guys skip that. You've seen a blade tool cutting back and forth before. Alright, that shoulder there is within 8 thousandths of being in the right spot. So I've got a dial indicator set up down here. See if I can, well, I can't show it to you because it's right down there. I'm going to come in 8 thousandths to clean up that shoulder, and then I'll take to the next shoulder over from that, okay? And we'll start our threading in just a little bit.